it takes a while, but like again, like once a month sort of thing, once every couple of weeks, like Mana, he pops off, he takes down a big name, then he has to just charge up again. But with that, GG well played. That leads us into our next series though. The vetoes are already done, very fast vetoes as we are getting into our fresh best of 3. One moment as I set things up, and here we go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Ley Lines, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. Here we go. Yes, the quarterfinals are underway. As you mentioned, Max Pax is up against Mana, and me as Mana took down Shin, and we have our own series. We have our own ZvP, Classic versus Rogue. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats. Coming into this, Classic is going to be the heavy favorite here. Classic, he is very in form at the moment, and even one of the favorites to take the entire tournament. We'll see if Rogue can slip him up. Rogue, he's so far warmed up, right? He's warmed up. He took down Lelix, he took down Geralt, but now he's up against Classic, one of the best Protoss players in the world. Oh boy. The pressure is on Rogue. Max Crasher's Mana, please. Typically, we try to follow players, so because we started the series, or started the broadcast with Rogue versus Lelix, we follow the winner into Geralt, and we follow the winner of that into Classic, and we follow the winner of this series into the semifinals as well. That's typically the case. I say typically. WardiTV Monday is a little bit different because ideally both semifinals are going to be casted. So after we wrap up this series, we'll be catching up with Wardi, and we'll join up and we'll be able to cover the same semis, whichever is available first, either the upper or the lower semifinals. It also depends where Wardi is. Like if Wardi's in, say, Hero versus Beyond, they're lagging behind, so he might be lagging behind a little bit, and there might be some downtime. We'll see. We shall see. So now Stargate open out of Classic, standard opener, as to be expected. Rogue getting to his third base on time. Pulls out of gas, nothing crazy. So far, everything's looking normal. We have Hatch Gas pull into a third base out of Rogue. We have the Stargate opener out of Classic into a third base. From here, we'll see the Twilight Council timing for Classic. That's going to be the next big kind of staging round, a big kind of deviation here. Do we go into Glaives? Do we go into Blink? So we'll keep an eye on that Twilight Council. As we mentioned, we have seen a lot of Glaive builds, or again, Blink variations here over the past couple of months. I mean, hey, we saw a lot of that during EWC as well, true, during the Esports World Cup. But I don't really think that Classic needs to deviate away. I would say that Classic has the best late game PvZ in the world, better than Max Pax and better than Hero. Late game PvZ is kind of Classic's staging ground, like that's his stomping ground even. That's where he's at his best. So very often in these matchups, even if Classic takes the lead, very often he doesn't press on the advantage. Instead, he gets further ahead. So Classic, he'll deal economic damage, he'll take a bit of trade. Oh, that's an early Twilight Council, by the way. Okay, we're leaning towards Glaives. We're leaning towards Glaives here. We'll see if Classic goes for it once again. But what I was getting at is that very often Classic, he'll get ahead, he'll get some damage done, and then he'll just expand, he'll tech up, he'll turtle up, throw down a fleet beacon, and get into Sky Toss, right? Like, if whenever he can, whenever he sees an opportunity, he will kind of tech up in that direction. But I have to eat my words here because of the earlier Twilight Council. I say that we are lacking the gateways. Ooh, okay, so early Twilight Council into a Forge. The Forge is indicative that it is not going to be Glaive Adepts. We're going into early Blink. Now, for those that are curious here, this is earlier than normal. There's some pros, there's some cons. Because of this early Blink timing, what does this mean? This means that Classic can hit the 4th base. When Rogue decides to expand and get a 4th base, Classic can go for a kill and bring that 4th base down with that earlier Blink timing. The downside of this build is late Forge, late +1, late upgrades. So if Classic fails to bring down the expansion, if he fails to get damage done with the Blink timing, then he will be worse off. He'll be worse for wear. So the gateways are on the way, and Classic is building up. Meanwhile, Rogue going into +1 range, going into a Roach heavy composition, not Ling Bane, not Ling Bane Hydra, going into Roaches. Ooh, meanwhile, we have a little speed here. Okay, so we're probably going so Classic is moving out with Blink. Remember, we have that early Blink timing. Blink is almost done. We spoke about that 4th base, and again, this is the target. This is the target here for Classic. He wants that 4th. He's moving out. His move out gets spotted by the Overlord, so Rogue, he knows what's coming his way, and Rogue, he himself is going for his own all-in with the German taxi, with the Dropper Lords, I should say. So Rogue, he does run up to 3 base saturation. He's throwing down a Hydrogen, but Rogue, he does intend to commit. Rogue double expands. Here come the Stalkers. He's going for the 4th. And Rogue really tried to save it. Looks like he's just ready to cancel. Yeah. So we spoke about it. Early Blink means bam, deny the 4th. Deny the 4th base. Nice damage here by Classic. Rogue, he was already expanding. He was already willing to accept that he would lose his 4th base. But Classic, he scouts. He's aware, he rotates. Classic is rotating over towards the new 4th. And he does intercept the Lings. Does with the Zerglings. And this is going to be a tough hold here. We have some Roach Ravager ready. If you recall, we spoke about the German taxi. There it is. Rogue, he's loading up. He's moving out. Ooh, 3 more volleys. Can he break through? Autobots, he can. He does force a cancel. Nicely done. Once again, he denies the 4th base. Limited larva here for Rogue. Classic, he will get away. There's not enough Lings, and not enough Zerglings to really punish. Dropper Lords are moving in. Here comes Rogue. And can he catch out these Stalkers? Warpin is going to finish. Storm is done. Uh-oh. Okay, Storm is complete. Oof. Storms, they connect with the Roaches, and they will soften them up. The Roaches are going down. Classic holds. Ooh, I say that. Yeah, Storms, they do connect. Classic, he will hold on. Classic, that Templar, they barely do pull away. Oh, the Oracle goes down, though. Yeah, a bit of an overextension out of Classic. Does lose the Oracle, but he will save the base. He saves the expansion, and Classic takes the lead. What did Rogue lose? Rogue, he lost his 4th and his 5th base. He lost 2 expansions as he tried to expand. Likewise, Rogue committed very hard. Ah, the miss rally. But Rogue, he committed very hard there with the German taxi, with the Dropper Lords, and he failed to break the expansion. He failed to really break the army as well. So Rogue is in a rough position. The Lings are getting in. Nicely done. I mean, again, this is very necessary damage here for Rogue. Sips into the main base. Behind this, Hive is on the way. Rogue, if you remember, he threw down the Hydrogen. Rogue, his drone count is very low, though. Very low drone count. So the tech is there. Hive, Lurkerton, Hydrogen. Lurkers are morphing in. But the economy is lacking here for Rogue. Classic, he does recover back at home. And you said I see Flea Beacon. This kind of validates what we spoke about at the start of the game, if you remember, where Classic, typically when he takes a lead in a game, instead of pressing his advantage and going for the kill, he just techs up and he gets ready for Sky Toss. That's what's happening here. Classic, he's in a better position, and he could be throwing down extra gateways, could be committing and trying to kill Rogue. He decides not to. Instead, get further ahead, embrace Sky Toss, go to the late game. This is where Classic is at his best, in the late game. So why risk it? Why risk it? Just tech up, slow the game down, get into Sky Toss. Meanwhile, the armies, they pass by each other. We do have Lurkers pushing in towards the fourth base. At the same time, Classic does counterattack, going for the third. Yeah, Lurkers a little bit too far back. Storm, no major connection here. But we're going to be trading bases, or at least we should be. So Rogue will lose one expansion. Classic, he should get this southern base as well. At the same time, Rogue, he is late to snipe this Nexus. Very late. He's already lost two bases. Two bases, a mineral line. There's Rico back home. No shot. Can Classic save the base? Here come the Storms. Yeah, Storms do connect. Storms are connecting. Classic is racing back home. The Nexus will still go down. But this is still a better trade for Classic. Classic, he lost one base for two. So 1 for 2 trade. Here comes the interception. Lurkers, they're not gonna get down. They're not gonna get out. Massive blink. Guesses up the Lurkers, and GG gets called. Classic, he will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Again, a very strong showing here out of Classic, as he was able to dominate Rogue when it came to the early timing. The early blink timing was brutal, and Rogue, he just could not save his base as he fell behind as a result. And Rogue, he tried to go for his own all-in with his own German taxi, but again, he failed to get damage done. He did not break the base, he did not reset the army. Rogue, he lost 2 bases, he lost a mineral line, he lost his main army, and he tried to tech up into Lurkers, but because of all the earlier losses, Rogue, he was getting into Lurker tech, but getting into Lurkers with a very low economy. He had, what was it, 68 drones. He had 3 base saturation while getting into Hive tech. So the tech was there, the economy was not. The bases weren't either. So Rogue, he stumbled his way into the mid game, and Classic was able to look very informed. And now we're getting into game number 2. Jumping into game 2 here. Game 2 is going to be on Maganatha. Here we go. And spawning in the top left hand corner of Maganatha, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing Virtus Pro, leading the series 1-0. It is a Classic. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the South Korean Zerg for Team Falcons. It is Rogue. Go. And again, the pressure is on Rogue here, and we'll see if he can do something quirky. I will say, I mentioned this before coming into the series, Classic is the heavy favorite. He has the best late game PvC in the world, and he is straight up arguably even the best Protoss in the world right now. Playing standard is not going to work here. I feel like Rogue has to rely on something quirky, something different. And to be fair, Rogue was trying to do something different last game. That's why he went into the Queen drops. That's why he went into the Drop Lord. That's why he went into the all-in. But the problem is that he stumbled his way into it because of the lost expansions. Here, we'll see if he can tighten things up, and we'll see if he can get into his aggressive build. Now, I don't think he's going to go for the same build 2 games in a row. I don't think we're going to go for another Drop Lord setup, but we could go into Mutas. We could go into Mutas. We could go into a Ling Hydra heavy composition instead. We could double down with Ling Bane Roach Ravager. There are other ways to be aggressive in this matchup. We'll see which one Rogue goes for. We're expecting one of them. There we go. We're expecting aggression in some form. For now, standard opener. Likewise, Classic, he should be going for, once again, Stargate opener. Last game, he went into early Blink. This time, I would imagine that Classic is going to mix it up. Remember, last game was not a standard opener by Classic. I mean, I guess the opener was standard, but the build itself was not, as he opened up Oracle, Stargate, third base into early Blink. This time, we could go for a standard build. We can go for a standard Blink timing instead with a Forge, or we can go for something more aggressive. We'll keep an eye on Classic. For now, based on the final placement, should be a Stargate. Classic. He has been fond of these early Blink builds, but there's again a lower chance that he does it 2 games in a row. Lower chance that it works 2 games in a row. The Oracle's on the way. The Oracle's rallying out. Keeping an eye out for extra gateways. But safe in the shade, they do not get into the mineral line. So nice movement here by Rogue. Very nice. Zones away. The Oracle is coming, so is a third, and then we're waiting for the tech. Then we will be waiting for Classic's tech. Third base has been thrown down. And show us what you got. And there it is, early Twilight Council. So far, this is lined up. So far, this is the same build. So early Twilight Council, the gate was being thrown down a little bit earlier this time though. So there's a higher chance that this time we're not going into early Blink, we're going into early Glaives. I mean, both are still options, both are still viable here. As one of the Oracles does barely go down. Nice snipe. Nice snipe out of Rogue. Now, I'm a little bit scared if Rogue does skip his roaches. There it is. Glaive Adepts are on the way. There's a reason why I think earlier in the broadcast someone did say like, oh, like, you know, there's a reason why no one does this, and we wanted to push against that narrative because the reality is we see this quite often. Glaive Adepts here out of Classic, we've seen it quite often in recent times, especially in EWC, this week in RSL, last week in RSL. This can hit very hard, and Rogue thankfully is getting a Roach Warren. So it is not uncommon for Zerg players to skip their tech and to skip their Roach Warren. Not uncommon. This time the Rogue, he's playing it safe, but he still has to scout what's going on. Now, if Rogue drones, if he drones up, if he fails to realize what's happening, and if he fails to scout what's coming his way, then this will hit like a truck. Links out, oh, does not confirm. He sees 4 Adepts, that's normal, right? 4 Adepts is normal. He has not seen the Mass Adept yet. And now he knows. Yeah, now he sees big scout here for Rogue. He knows what's going on. Spinecrawler is going to be thrown down. Spinecrawler here at the third base. He just completely evacuates. He just abandons the third. He gives up on FIP. Abandons the third base. He gets the hell out of there. Adepts are moving in. They'll find nothing at the third, or just 2 drones. As 1 drone goes down, takes out the Spinecrawler. Rogue, he has the full wall here at the natural. Let's have a full wall. Adepts a shade in, but the wall is solid. Yeah, the wall is solid. The wall does buy time, and Rogue, he will shut this down. He will clean this up. Whew. Again, a very nice defense here by Rogue, and the MVP of this game was what? Was the Link, right? Was that Link Scout. Was able to see the Adepts, was able to react in time. And this is where Classic is in a worse position. We spoke about this during the Rogue versus Geralt game, if you recall. We spoke about how if this fails to get damaged, the Glaive Adept build, it does set behind everything else. +1 is delayed. Blink is delayed. The follow-up is going to be delayed. And I do like this from Rogue. He's going for what? Going for Overlord speed. We're going for a counterattack. We're building up and getting ready to load up into another German taxi. Again, at this level of play, you don't get Overlord speed unless you plan on making drop lords. And this is going to be a really good way for Rogue to capitalize on his lead as he's ahead. Like Rogue, he's got the Hydrogen on the way, Rogue speed, here come the drop lords already morphing in, and Rogue is getting ready for his push. Now, I'm a little bit on the fence as to whether or not, or as to how this is going to work out actually, just because this is similar to last game. I don't know if you noticed, last game Rogue, he went for the German taxi, he loaded up on the drop lord while he was teching. He's doing the same thing here. What do we have? Hydra Den gets thrown down. Hydra upgrades are on the way. And I wouldn't be surprised if he throws down infestation pits. If he does, like, this is all money. This is all resources invested somewhere else. Like his heart isn't in this. Like, he's massing up an army right now, but at the same time, he's got like 1 foot in tech as well. Like, he's got 1 foot like further in the game, in a longer game, I should say. But he's building him nothing but Ling Roach Ravager, and Classic is coming to him. This will be better for Rogue. Rogue has not been droning. You can see here, no drones. No drones, no saturation. Classic sees, he confirms. Yeah, Classic confirms no saturation. That is scary. He has to get the hell out of here. Classic kills the base. At the same time, the wall is... Hero? The wall is open. The wall is open. Lings, they do get into the middle line. Probes are going down. And Classic, he's just committing here. He's got his own Soul Train, Mass Adept as Sentry Immortal. Shows the force fields. The Wiles! Oh my god, they graze the army. Yeah, Classic not paying attention, he was focusing elsewhere. As back at home, probes are still going down, and damage is still being done. Losing 14, 15 workers. This army still has potential. Stasis goes off. Wiles, they take down one of the sentries. 1, 2 sentries go down. Very nice force fields. Gee, Classic, calm down. Force fields the army, takes down the Ravagers. Classic, he does fight well for himself, but he still did lose a mineral line. There we go, knocks down the rocks. Make sure he doesn't get flanked. Instead, Rogue, he just counterattacks. Good call. Does go for the counterattack, the army recalls back home. Can he save the expansion? Oh, not quite. Yeah, won't be able to. The base goes down. And Rogue, he should be... Yeah, it does catch out the Immortal. Massive catch. He should be able to max out. Now, Rogue, his own economy, his own bases are lackluster. That is true. Rogue, he's only on 65 workers. The economy's not there. Even though Classic just lost the base, Classic, he has a better economic game state. Like, Classic is looking better here. Rogue has to end it soon. He's got to end it. 4 shields get knocked down. Biles, one of them does connect. Ooh, as Biles like crazy army once again. They do trigger the shields. Rogue trying to get on top of the Immortals. It looks like Rogue, he will do so. Yeah, he barely breaks through the adepts, takes out one of the Immortals. There's 2 Immortals left, and Rogue, he's done it. Whew. Rogue, he breaks on through, takes down 3 Immortals. And again, I feel like Classic probably could have held here if he didn't lose those 15 probes earlier. Like, again, he just took so much damage as he was pushing. And we are going to game 3. We're going to the ace match here. Rogue does move in, Biles out the Oracle. And there should not be an army here. I mean, there's nothing left, right? There's nothing left. There's a handful of Stalkers. The base will go down. And Rogue is fighting back. And remember, what does this come down to? It came down to the Scouting Ling, right? The MVP Zergling. Remember, as soon as the Zergling saw all the adepts shading across the map, what did Rogue do? He threw down a Spine Crawler, and he fully walled off, and he evacuated the mineral line, so he only lost 1 drone, right? Again, like, the MVP Zergling GG gets called, and Rogue ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We're going all the way to game 3, and I'm curious to see what map we load into. I'm curious. If we load into a more aggressive map, this is where Rogue can pop off, and where he can maybe catch Classic with his pants down. If we load into a more defensive map, that's where I'm going to be more concerned for Rogue, as Classic can do what he does best. Turtle up and embrace Sky Toss. We'll see. Oh. We're going to be loading into Tokamak. Tokamak is, I would say, the most defensive map of the map pool. The most defensive map. It's known for turtle heavy play. This does favor a player that does decide to back off and turtle up on 4 bases, on 4 expansions. So this is where Classic is going to be at the advantage. This is where the pressure is going to be on Rogue. Let's go. Let us go. This morning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing Team Protoss Pro. It is Classic. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg player himself representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. Whew, and we've made it. So we made it all the way to game 3, made it all the way to the ace match, and we'll see. We'll see how our players will adjust. We'll see how Rogue will approach this. As I mentioned, Tokamak is known for having a very secure 4-base setup. As you can see here, we have the triangular 3rd base, we have the triangular 4th base as well. We have choke points leading into them, and we have this. We have rocks in between, closing off this otherwise pathway into the natural. This does mean that there are only 2 locations to defend against or on 4 bases. So 2 locations to defend. So it's easier here for a Protoss player to split up their army, to split up, to split off, and to defend those 2 locations at once, to rotate as well, and to slow the game down. Likewise, if Classic does decide to be more defensive here, that does give Classic the opportunity to tech up and to be greedy. So there's a bit of a give and take. Here. Some players are building up. Once again, as a reminder, typically Classic, he doesn't open up defensive and open up more macro oriented. He's willing to be aggressive early on, and then after he gets a lead, then start to expand, then start to tech up, and then start to slow things down. Typically. So game 1 we saw early blink, game 2 we saw glaives, game 3 what's it gonna be? What haven't we seen yet? Technically there are some quirky builds out there where you can go into something like Archon drops, or you can go into like Soul Train-esque Immortal All-ins. I wouldn't be surprised if Classic goes into early blink again. It would make sense. Like early blink is solid here on Tokamak to deny the 4th base. We'll see. Should have cheered for the failed German taxi. Ah, no. Thanks for the great commentary. Oh, thank you, Piper. Thank you. Gracias, Piper. Gracias. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. As the Stargate is finishing up. From here, Classic can expand, take his 3rd base. And once again, we are waiting for that Twilight Council to see the timing of the Twilight Council to let us know whether we should be expecting earlier tech. So far, Classic has gone for the early Twilight Council both games. Every game in the series. Link does move in. So far, nice defense out of Classic. So you can see do dip into the main. They get a free scout of the main base, but there's nothing to really see here. Does waste energy on the Oracle, so not bad. And from here, Classic will expand. There's the 3rd base. 3rd base gets thrown down. Classic, he's building up his gas. And what's it going to be spent on? Oh, 1 probe. Rogue does snipe 1 worker. Lings are chased down. We have the money. Do we throw down some tech? There it is. Early Twilight Council. So early Twilight Council out of Classic. From here, we should be seeing extra gateways. Oh, never mind. So Twilight Council into Forge. You have my attention. I mean, Classic, he did bank up his resources here. So this is more indicative of just blink and +1. Into a standard opener. Otherwise, technically, this could be charge, right? It could be +1 and charge. That's also going to be an available option. And let's move out. As they move out, Lings, they move in. They take down the pylon. Can we force a cancel? Classic out of position. Classic is out of position. The base is getting low. Oracle's a race back home. And this is nice damage here from Rogue. But it does take a little... Oh, God, never mind. Devastating across the map, and there's a bit of a give and take here. The Lings dealt so much damage because the Devs were out of position. They're out of position because they got across the map. They get 3 drones and they deny mining time. So a bit of a give and take here. Rogue lost workers, did take a blow to his economy. At the same time, did kill a pylon, but didn't get much else actually. Meanwhile, as you mentioned, yep, blink and +1. So this should not be hitting a timing to break the 4th base like you saw previously. Kind of building up, the upgrades are on time. Like this is kind of the more standard build here, or this is the standard, the go-to in PvZ. So from here we can establish the 3rd base, then we can work towards a 4th base and take up into splash damage, most likely Storm, potentially Colossus. This is the most tame approach that Classic has had so far in this series. Oh! Zero takes a lot of hits. Pulls away. There's the tech of choice. It's going to be Storm. Ooh, nice cancellation on the 4th though. Okay. Sorry, the 5th base, I should say. So it does cancel the 5th. And Classic, he's being active, but again, this timing here is nowhere near as strong as it was previously in Game 1. He's poking in. Rogue, have we been cutting units? Lings are on the way, that is true. No Roach Warren. Uh-oh. Ah, that's plenty. Okay, plenty of Lings. Plenty of Zerglings here. Comes in for the surround. We'll catch out some of the Oracles. Sorry, some of the Stalkers, I meant to say. Oracles are in position, and Classic will hold. We'll zone away the Lings. We have more reinforcements coming in. Classic, he can actually keep going. Oh, and Rogue is taking. We have the Infestation Pit. Now is not the time. The pit is on the way. Classic, it's going to be close. The Oracle's out of energy. The Oracles are out. More Lings going down, but Rogue, he's holding. So Rogue, he does defend. He saves his 4th base. As we mentioned, like, this timing is weaker this game compared to Game 1 from Classic. So we didn't expect him to break the 4th, but he's been getting value nonetheless. He's been trading well. Like even here, the Oracles, they just go ham. Ooh, Stalkers get surrounded, and Classic, he may have overextended. There's the recall. Does recall back home, but that was what? That was 6 Stalkers going down. Those are expensive losses. Rogue trading minerals for gas. So much more efficient trades here from Rogue. And now Classic is stuck at home. Rogue here has gained map control. Still flooding across the map. Does not get a Stalker. Classic is holding. Rogue, I would say maybe overinvested into these Lings, but he just heavily droned up. He just droned up. He was just droned up to 92. Oh my god. 92 workers. As Rogue, he droned up as hard as he could. Hive is on the way. And I believe he has no tech. Oh, this I'm not so fond of. So Rogue has map control. He drones up to 92. That is solid, right? Like the drone count, the economy is solid for Rogue. He's trying to crash in. So far, Classic is holding. As you mentioned, it is hard to break a defending player, a turtling player on Tokamak. It is very difficult. As you can see, we're turtling up. Cannons, shield batteries, Stargate, Fleet Peak, and Skytoss. Like Classic is doing what you want to do on Tokamak. Turtle up into Skytoss. Now, what concerns me here is that Rogue didn't have a Hydroden, which means what? Lingbane Ultra. Lingbane Ultra. And Lingbane Ultra does best when you fight out in the open, when you have potential for surrounds. When it comes to trying to push into a 4-basing turtling player like this, it's not going to be pretty here. It's going to be very inefficient from Rogue. He's going to be basically ramming his head against a brick wall, and I don't know if he can break through. I don't think his head is hard enough. I'll be on, like, Ultras, like, they're great and all, but it's basically it's almost like a quote-unquote all-in. What I mean by that, right now Rogue could be doing what? He could be getting a Spire, he could be getting a Hydrogen, he could be getting ready for the Skytoss, right? Because he isn't getting ready for the Skytoss, as the game goes on, it's going to get better and better for Classic, because Rogue has no good answer for the Skytoss, because he's committing into Lingbane Ultra. So Rogue, he's kind of putting himself on a timer here. First, gee, the Storms, they shut down the Banelings. Banelings do not get in. Again, Classic, he's getting ready to receive. He's just fully walling up. He's like, come at me. And the Sky Toss is amassing. And again, we have ultras to do with the Sky Toss. Like, that's what I mean. Like, Rogue, he's on a timer. The longer this game goes on, the better it will be for Classic. And here we go. We're going for the drop. We're going for the Doom drop. We have 5 drop lords morphing in. Going for a massive Ling drop, actually. Ultras are building up. It's going to be Ultra with Mass Queen, which means we can transfuse. And the main base is exposed. True. Sure, we have all these cannons and shield batteries at the 3rd and 4th base, but the main base is exposed. So Rogue going for a bit of a Hail Mary play. This can work. Lings are coming first around. Maybe deflected. Now we have double Spire on the way for Rogue, but again, this is late, right? These are late Spires. But here comes the drop. And drop into the main base. There is some production. Tempers are here, a couple of Zealots, some cannons. And these Lings are not going to get anything done. Yeah, Lings, they get shut down on the front lines. Meanwhile, in the main base, they also get shut down as well. Lings, they get 8 probes and a gateway and a cannon. And not worth it. Classic holds. Classic he holds, and the Tempest count is getting higher and higher. What do we have so far? 2 Tempests and 2 carriers. We're making 2 Tempests at a time. Mothership is on the way. Tectonic destabilizers, +1 air attack. Classic, he's perfecting his army. And Rogue is still stuck with Lingbane Ultra. And he's going for, okay, for a moment there I thought it was another Doom drop. But he's still stuck with Lingbane Ultra. He's going to try to brute force his way in. Classic's out of position. Nice storms though. And the Tempests have arrived. Yeah, another storm on the Banelings. Oh my god. Banelings are trying to slip in. They're trying to slip by, and they will. The Archon's in position. Yeah, the Archon's in position. 14 probes go down. Nice damage. And down go all the Ultras. Right, down go all the Ultras. In a head-on fight, Classic wins. But Classic did just lose a mineral line. Like 16 probe kills. That's pretty good. That's what Rogue is hoping for. So Rogue does get the mineral line. Rogue remaxes with, once again, Lingbane Ultra. Now he does have Neural, and he's slowly building up the spell cachers. This is important. This is maybe the most crucial thing that Rogue is doing here, is they slowly building up the Infestor count and the Viper count. This will be important when up against Sky Toss. As long as he doesn't throw it away. Like, we want to slowly build this up and get it ready for the Sky Zerg army. Because here they come. Double Spire, double upgrades. We're slowly getting ready for that Mass Corruptor switch. You don't want to make the Corruptors yet, right? You want to wait for the upgrades. Do you want to wait for those upgrades? Obviously, the scary thing is, Classic is now maxed, right? He's been turtling until maxed out, and now he's pushing. Oh boy. And Rogue, he doesn't have the best army for this. The Infestors have potential. He can fungal. He can try to lock this down. He can Neural as well. As Classic moves in, Rogue going for the counterattack. It's all about buying time. It's all about buying time at this point. Ooh. Yeah, Ling run by attempted. Classic is being kept at home. And what's the purpose here? What's the goal for Rogue? Wait for the upgrades, right? He's just trying to buy time for the upgrades. Then when the upgrades kick in, then we can build up Corruptors. Unfortunately, there's no Greater Spire, so there's no potential for Broodlords. Like, Broodlords aren't available. Classic rotates. Rogue does have an opening. Potentially. He's coming for the surround. Yeah, fighting the army. Fungal does connect. Going for the slow zone. Decent storms. But the Ultras are breaking through. They're breaking through the Archons. Yeah, Archons are going down. Mass feedback with the Infestors. Infestors are falling. We can't quite afford to lose that. Yeah, the Infestors are being targeted down, one after the other. The Skyjust army does hold, and here comes the Corruptor remax with Rogue. He's broke. No, Rogue, he has no money. He has no gas. Rogue, he's supply blocked. He has no gas. Zealot run by across the map, and the Skyjust army is breaking through. And it was risky, right? It was risky to delay the Spires for as long as he did. And it looks like it's not worth it. It looks like it may not have been worth it here. This base will fall. I mean, Rogue could just ignore it. He could just ignore the Sky Toss. Can we commit to the base trade? There's a recall. There's a recall back home. Classic, he will save the expansion. And how many infestors went down? 4. Okay, not bad. 4 infestors. The majority, I believe, were saved. We have 6 left. So 6 infestors survived. I was concerned that all these infestors will be hunted down. If they were, I think that would have been game. But Rogue does preserve them. Now, my concern, though, as you can see, the economy. Rogue, he's been delaying his gases. He did not take his gases here at the fringe bases. So Rogue, he doesn't really have a bank. Needs those gases. Needs to build up. Going for another Doom Drop. Now, the other scary thing, of course, is that Classic didn't lose a single Skytoss unit, right? The Carriers and Tempest all survived that fight. They all survived. And there's how many Corruptors? 15. It's decent. Rogue is getting into 2-2 upgrades. Storm in the drops. Ooh, another Storm. Nice burrow. Did Classic notice? Don't think he did. Links back into the main base. Going for the Stargate. Things are being cleaned up. Links they unburrow here in the natural. We're just pulling back. But again, once again, this is all about buying time, right? It's all about buying time. 12 probe kills. 2-2 is almost done, right? The 2-2 upgrades are almost complete for Rogue. He's almost there. Now, this entire time, Classic, I mean, he's had a goal base, so that does help him recover when it comes to some of those losses. Taking another expansion. Another base on the way. You could argue that he's a little bit spread thin, but, I mean, again, if he's mainly mined out here at the triangular third base, he also has a wall of cannons to buy time for a recall or for a rotation. So Classic, he can freely take this base. Like, this base should be untouched, as it's right next to his army. Ooh, as Classic, he does see an opportunity. He's going for the Ultras. They're getting caught out. Corruptors, they have 2-2 upgrades. 3-3 is soon to begin. Here come the Corruptors. They capture the Oracles. Gets both. Oh, just gets one. One Oracle goes down, but the Ultras are getting caught. They're getting cornered. The Ultras. There's no way out of this. Gets a sentry. That's what he gets. Kills one sentry for the Ultras. Aye. Yeah, very efficient from Classic. Rogue couldn't engage. Rogue is getting into his own 3-3 upgrades, +3 range, +3 fire attack. Greater Spire is almost done for Broodlords. And again, Rogue, he's getting to that more ideal, like, Broodlord Infestor composition. Broodlord Viper Infestor. But again, it's just very delayed because of all the Ultras, and he still needs a little bit more time. Classic's moving in. Okay, what do we have to work with? We have 6. I would say that the carrier count is too high. We have 6 carriers. It's a lot of carriers. We have 4 Tempests, 11 Archons. Jesus, 11 Archons. Oh, as Rogue threatens to engage. Going for the recall. Yeah, Mothership gets in. Mothership gets in. We're going for the Hive. And we have control of the ramp. Yeah, Ultras, they're going to have a hard time pushing up into this. Rogue, is he going to try? He's going for it. There's the Microbial Shroud. As here we go, he tries to push up. Massive Powerbomb, massive Fungals as well. And Corruptors, are they going to be enough? They're stacking! Oh, the Corruptors, they stack in the Storms. Every Corruptor's going to go down. And with that, Classic, he'll take the fight. He'll take the fight, he resets the Corruptor counts, cleans up all the Ultras, and Rogue, he has nothing left. Rogue, he will lose everything. He plummets in supply. We have a 15 Ultra Remax, but there's still Sky Toss. We have 16 Ultras on the way. Let's go. Oh no, the eggs. The eggs are going down. Oh my god. He camps to take. That's 3 Ultras. He gets 3 Ultras before they hatch. So from 16 down to 13. And Classic still has this ramp. Again, because of this choke point, that's why he traded so well against the Ultras. Ultras are moving in. Again, 13 Ultras. Ah, the Spires. Oh, the Spires are going down. Going for the Mass Storm. There's the recall. And Rogue, he's in a brutal position. He's in a brutal position here. Now, Rogue, this is where, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how the soup works. The soup can lie here. He has Mass Ultra, but he did squeeze out a couple of Corruptors. A couple of Corruptors did actually spawn in. How many? 11, soon to be 13. 13 Corruptors. Meanwhile, you can see the Classic has a fresh base. He has a fresh mine. He just has to saturate, but he has a fresh mining base available. Ooh, okay. So they're racing back home. Classic, he does have to clean up his bases here. He's oversaturated and undersaturated at the fresh mining base. So Classic, we gotta tighten up. And again, Rogue, he lost the Hive. He lost the Hive, he lost the Spires, both of them. He lost the Greater Spire as well. The Ultra Cavern is bleeding out as he speaks, same with the Infestation Pit. It's one of those things where we said it before, the soup does lie here, where Rogue, he remax instantly, but it doesn't matter, right? He remax with Mass Ultra. And pushing into this is not going to be easy here. Not just that, but Rogue, sure, he remax, he has no bank. He has no gas bank. Like, the gas is quite limited here for Rogue, so he can't be wasteful with his army either. He can't, like, go in, trade, and then remax. He doesn't have the money for it. I mean, he can remax with Zerglings, I suppose. It's minerals, sure. Ooh, as Zell's taken into the mineral line, and drones are going down. Nice bar. Classic is caught back up. And you can see that Classic is making less Sky Toss and more Immortals. That's just ideal against Ultras, right? He's going for a more Immortal heavy composition. More Immortals. Still a low Tempest count. Remember, there's still no Spire. Like, doubling down on Sky Toss would be the play here. Classic, you'll take down another expansion. Oof, another Zell run by. Thankfully, there are Spine Crawlers. And we got the minerals for it. Oh, now this is what's terrifying here. Is that there's no pressure on Classic. Classic, he just got a fresh full mining base, and now he's getting another, right? And because of where these bases are centralized, all he has to do is park his army here, right? Park his army here in the center. He defends the gold, he defends the southern fresh base, and the bottom right as well, right? He defends all 3 bases in one location. And he can take this base, which is still relatively untouched. Rogue, he attempted to take this base earlier, and he has mined it somewhat, but for the most part, there's still plenty of resources, and Classic can eventually take this base for himself. So there's no pressure. Like, Classic has the better army, he has the more efficient army, and he has plenty of bases to mine from. So there's nothing forcing Classic to push in. Meanwhile, Rogue, he's mining out. Rogue, he's mining out. He has top left, and he'll have center left. He's trying to take that expansion. Rogue, he could try to pressure this base, or he could just keep pushing further in towards, like, the tech, which is about to expire. Oh, thankfully, there's creep. Tech is saved. Where's the Hive? Oh, here. At the mined out third. At the linear third base is where the Hive is being rebuilt. Once again, all Classic has to do is just deny this base. That's a kill, not a cancel, and Classic, he will remain ahead. The reasoning for this, with this base belonging to Classic, that is the map cut in half. The map evenly cut in half when it comes to bases, and as you know, Zerg players, they need to be up a base to be even with the Protoss. So, with an even base count, Protoss is ahead, at least economically. and they have the more efficient army as well. Now, when it comes to the main fight, these infestors have potential. I don't want to understate that. We have a lot of infestors building up. We're making 2 more infestors. Mass neural is a thing, right? So the ultras, that's a lot of ultras to take over the ground. If we can mass neural the sky or mass neural some of the immortals, Rogue has potential. How many infestors? 17 infestors. That's a lot of fungal, that's a lot of neural. So Rogue can still take a fight. But the problem is, as we mentioned, like, there's no pressure for Classic, because Classic, he has a better economy. Like, he has more bases, or a better base count. As he takes center right. So rotating over. Does spot the army. Oh. Does keep pushing in. Does go for the mass micro shroud. Ooh, brutal storm though. Infestors are going to be turned away, losing 1, 2, 3 infestors go down. It's a lot of infestors falling. Better fight here for a Classic. Basically, all the Sky Zerg was out of position. The Corruptors were out of position. They were busy with the Warp Prism, so big, nice bait. Nice bait out of Classic. He baited out the Corruptors. Classic, he out trades. And we went from 17 down to 14. 14 infestors. Does go for the neural on one of the Archons. Storm on Zerglings, Corruptors go for the dive. Are there enough Archons? Yeah, Storms, they do zone away. And Corruptors, they take care of most of the Tempest here. 1, 2, 3, the Tempest are going down. Rogue, he takes it. He takes the fight. He neurals. Catching up more carriers. More carriers going down. Again, barely a better fight here for Rogue. Classic has to rebuild. He has to rebuild. Again, the Archon count wasn't there. He did not have enough Archons. The Corruptors were not punished. He had mainly High Templar, mainly Storm. And what are we remaxing on? Oh, we can just neural. Yeah, here comes the mass neural. The mass infestor. Let's go. Yeah, he neurals everything. And Rogue, I think he's done it. Rogue, he has done it. We spoke about it. The infestors, the MVPs. Neural the Archons, neural the Immortals as well. Just take the Protoss units away. Does get the expansion, true. Does get the expansion, but the Classic needs time to rebuild. He needs time to saturate. You can see here he's undersaturated. We saw this become an issue earlier. But does not have full saturation. And Rogue is remaxed. Rogue, he's remaxed. Rogue, he will take down this expansion. A crucial mining base here for Classic is going down. And Rogue, he's done it. Like, at this point, he has done it. He has a bank. He has how many infestors? 22. He's got almost a pure infestor. Let's go. Almost pure infestor. I mean, we still have a couple of Corruptors, a couple of Ultras as well. But 22 infestors. How do you deal with the Protoss? Just neural. Just neural everything. That's all you gotta do. Oh, the neurals. Let's go. Whew, Okay, it was not easy. I was not convinced by going and committing into Ultras as hard as Rogue did. I wasn't too convinced by it. I do think that it would have been a little bit easier if he had gone into Spires sooner. But, I mean, he made it work. As scrappy as it was, right? Like, he lost the Hive, he lost the Tech. Like, it was still very back and forth, and there was still a lot in favor of Classic. But Rogue, he got there. He got there in the end. Not into Broodlord Infestor, but Infestor. with some Corruptors and Ultras, of course. But he got there. Speaking of Broodlord Infestor, Greater Spires on the way. I mean, is there any Skytoss? One mothership. So true. Greater Spires is a good way to make use of the Corruptors, as right now they're almost dead supply. As Rogue, he denies the expansion. He's taking it for himself. Big moment here for Rogue. Taking one of Classic's bases. Does take the expansion. Rogue securing himself. And again, Rogue should be fine. Despite the High Templar, despite the feedbacks and the storms, like there are enough infestors here where Rogue, he should still be able to just neural all the Immortals. And neural all the Archons. Just neural everything. At least all the high-tech units, I should say. This is where we see the cheeky move where we borrow the infestor, we go in and then we neural the High Templar and just mass feedback. Let's go, baby, let's go. That's classic. He's retaking that center expansion, and he's attempting to. Rogue is setting up. Here we go. The Broodlords do morph in. The Broodlords have arrived. Spores are pushing forward. Very patient play here by Rogue. Very patient. Takes down the base. Broodlords are revealed. Tempest production is underway. Rogue decides to finish it. I mean, we spoke about it before. Here, the win condition for Rogue is deny this expansion and take it for himself. Right? He's starving Classic out by taking the space. Now the roles have been reversed. At this stage, there's no pressure on Rogue to push out. Right? There's nothing pressuring him. As the quote-unquote correct thing to do, the most efficient thing to do is just force the Protoss army to push into with the Spore Force, alongside the Neurals, the Infestors, the Broodlords. For Classic to push onto Creep. And for Rogue to take the best fight possible. As he's taking the base. Spores are pushing forward. Now, is he giving Classic an opportunity here? I would say so, but like, it's hard to really say that Classic can win a fight with this many infestors. Obviously, there's a world where the infestors clump, and then maybe we mass storm and the infestors get caught. True. There is a world where that happens, or some of the High Templar peel off and we get some mass feedbacks going. Like Classic, he needs the best fight possible here to shut down all those infestors. Now, another concern for me, we've been building up Tempest. Tell me, what's the anti-air? Rogue, he actually morphed every Corruptor into a Broodlord. So that is also a concern. The anti-air are the Spores, the Queens, and Neurals, right? Like, true, infestors, they can neural all the Tempest, or enough Tempest, but the lack of Corruptors is a little bit concerning. As we're going for it. Ooh, Storms, they pop off, and we should not be pushing in. Yeah, Rogue, calm down. This is not the time. This is not the place. This is not where you want to engage. Actually, maybe. So Rogue, he bled off some Ultras, and what do we have? Corruptors. So Corruptor production has begun. So thankfully, Rogue, he's realized, like, hold up. My anti-air is lacking a little bit here. We need some Corruptors. So 5 Corruptors on the way. That's not enough, but it's something. Fungal doesn't connect. Nice feedbacks. Feedbacks to connect with 3 infestors. Going for the dive. Storm on the Ultras. Nice Fungal here on the Tempest. Going for the mass Neural. Neurals 2 Tempest so far. And there we go. Does Neural every single Tempest. That's the anti-air. Neurals everything. Tries to at least. Ooh, the infestors are going down. Infestors are going down. We're running out of Neurals. Army blinks in. There's 1 Tempest left and the Mothership. Very messy fight. Classic trying to break through. Mothership goes down. Classic, he does break his way through. Takes the fight. And we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. Gonna keep pushing. Classic will take down the expansion. But we have a remax. We have a remax of 12 Ultras and the infestors are coming back. They're coming back. Oof. They're trying to. Camps in production. Does catch one of the ultras. Gets 2 ultras. Not bad. Gets 2 ultras. As they pop out of the eggs. I don't think Classic can push in, by the way. We gotta calm down. Rogue is broke as well. Rogue, he's out of money. he's burned through his entire bank remaxing with ultras. He made 10 more ultras against all these immortals. He's going for the neurals. Okay, does go for the neurals. Neurals to immortals. Ultras are moving in. And looks like there are enough ultras. Yeah, there are enough ultras. He does overwhelm dust around. Whew. Rogue, he cleans up the army, takes out the middle line. GG gets called. Not the cleanest game, but Rogue, he will take it 2-1, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. Hi. GG, well played. I'm still not convinced by the mass remaxing on ultras time and time again, but hey, Rogue, he made it work in the end, just barely. Did give Classic the opportunity. Classic, he was out trading, he was taking better fights, but the lack of resources, the lack of bank was really what was hindering Classic from really being able to sustain that army. That was what was important there, was he just never got his base back up and running after he lost that center right. If he could, different game, different story, but alas, he could not mine. And at the end of the game, both players were out of money. They were just both broke. But Rogue did barely pull it off. Not the cleanest end of game, not the cleanest fights, but Rogue, he got there. GG, well played. Whew, Rogue, he will claim the series. He takes Classic out of the tournament. And now we're getting into the semis, I believe. Let's catch up. That was a long game. That was a very long game, 36 minutes.